what a start. Inside out and upside down. No stress, I'ma clean up this mess.
Hi, it's Leigh here. Thanks for coming back to my channel. So it's time for another weekly college assignment with the Margarete Millers challenge. So we're up to week 34, I think. Check in a minute. So if you don't know what Margarete Millers challenge is, it's 52 weeks of prompt assignments to cut out and use in your glue book. There's a link to Margarete's channel and her shop where you can obtain the prompts if you want to join in. Now I've got my planner here that I've been using, and here we are with the bits and pieces I've gathered up for this week. So yes, we're on week 34. The prompts are light, whatever that means to you. Any kind of tag, paper that has a stain or is stained, sand or stone, something that starts with the letter P, and the bonus is a sticker. Okay, so I went foraging for bits and pieces, and I recently did a video on adding colour to some collage papers, so the link for that video is just up in the right hand corner if you want to check that one out. That was a lot of fun, and that's a bit of the paper that I had on my desk to protect my desk, so I may use that, or I may use this plain white copy paper. That's turquoise ink, and that is walnut stain, I think. I made it liquidy and splattered some on the paper, and then did some stamps with a circle so they look a bit like coffee stains. So that's my stained paper. Light. Now I wanted a lamp. That was the first thing I thought of, and I found this image in Daphne's diary. It had flowers drapesing down over this side, so I cut all them off, but I'm thinking I might actually cut around that because it's got like that big metal band and those lamps are hanging off it. I'll see when I get into it. So any kind of tag, I found this one. It's actually a sticker, so I'm going to use that as my tag, and the bonus is a sticker, so I'm going to put those two together like that, one on top of the other. That's my tag. Sand or stone. So I found in a National Geographic a couple of photos of some stone. And there's that one, and this one which I really like, but can you see the little face? And it freaks me out, so I don't think I can use it. See, it looks like someone's popping their head out, and it doesn't matter which way I put it, I can still see the face. I think I'll be using this one. So something that starts with the letter P. I've got a bit of a poem that I cut out of a book. I'm at the moment hollowing out a book for another project. The poem was right in the front of the book. Pulled that out. And then I've also got this lady, which was a Pixabay image. I was going to use it for something else and I decided not to. But because the name Zoya is on there, I don't know, she looks like her name could be Zoya. So I'm going to cut her out, pop her on the poem, I think. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of gesso on my page and then work my composition out. So I'll speed through that part of it and come back and talk to you when I have it worked out. Now I want to do some stenciling around the edge of the page with this one. Because everything's got an earthy tone, I want to put some of this transparent burnt sienna into the gesso to use for the stenciling. So I really don't need a lot. I definitely don't need too much of that ink because it will overpower everything. Just a tiny little speck if I can get it to... Yeah, that should be plenty. It's a beautiful colour. I used it when I was doing my collage papers and I was really happy with the way it looked. And I especially like the way it looked against the turquoises that I used. I think I just need a touch more of that. That's better. Just a little bit more colour. I should be using my little card, which is here. This is the worst part about these stencils, they're not flat. I'm not worried about whether or not I get the full pattern on there. Just want to make sure I'm getting it through. Oh yeah, that looks nice. I would like to put it a little bit up in this corner here at the top. I don't know if you can see that. It's quite distinct. I'll hold it up to the camera in a minute. I'm just going to put what's left of the paint down this side here. So it's subtle, but it's there. So I'm going to dry that off with my heat gun because I don't want to mess that design up. I quite like that. So that's dry now, and this is going to be my composition. So I've trimmed around the person's face. I need to cut some of that white off there, and there's bits of blue around that rock that I want to get rid of. And I was originally going to put, maybe I still could, I'm not sure about how I'm going to put that sticker on. I thought like that maybe. But I've got the poem there, the stained paper, so all the elements are in there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is how I'm going to put it together. So I just want to do a little bit of inking. And another thing I want to do when I've finished is I've got a big amount of empty space here. I would like to do some more stenciling, maybe with a different stencil, and try and create a slightly different brown with the gesso and ink. So I'm just going to trim up my pieces and find a stencil that I want to use and get that sorted. So I've decided that I'd like to put a little bit of text stamping in the background, and I'm going to use soot black distress oxide to do that. I have made a couple of little adjustments to my elements. I cut the lamps away from the rest of the light, and with the tag I've punched a hole and attached some black thread. So this is what it looks like with the stamping on there, and now I'm going to tack all the pieces together and then stick it down. So the first lines of this poem is wandering the world in magic places, treasured faces whispering from the past, clouds of memories soaring past. And I just thought I liked the words, so I thought she goes well with that sentiment. And I'm just getting my pieces back into position with her head and that rock. I've got her head over the rock, but the rock comes over her shoulder, so there's that crossover there between them. And the lamp will be glued over the top of the join. So I'm just going to tack everything down together, and once I get those pieces all tacked together, I'll then glue down the entire piece onto the page. Got my stencil, and I'm going to add some white in different areas. Yeah, I'm happy with the way that looks. Got the colour which is called Raw Sienna Dark, so I'm going to use some of that, and that's what it looks like. So I think it'll complement this nicely. I've got a little stencil 6 inches square, and I just cut that piece out, so I'm going to stencil some dots onto that. Maybe I need to use this one so I don't make such of a mess. Should be able to wipe that away because that paint stays open for quite some time. Oopsie. Oh well. Spread it around and make it look like it was meant to be like that. Bob Ross, happy accident, I think. Oh yeah, I quite like the way that looks. Yeah, I would like some just over the top of that piece of paper that the poem's on, because it's quite bare. Oh, put a bit more paint on there, might help. It's better. Keep away from those edges. I should have angled that. Never mind. Like that. Okay, I'm quite liking it, even though it's not exactly how I wanted it. So while I've still got some of that paint there, I'm going to add some water to it, and yeah, try and get it to splatter. I need a bit more water. I was going to tap it against my finger, but I did that the other night, and I've got arthritis in that finger. So hitting it with a paintbrush, even though I wasn't doing it very hard, wasn't the best thing to do. I've got these words that I cut out of a magazine. I'm going to stick them on to the label, or sort of across the label. There's something there on her face. I don't know what it is, whether it was on the original print. It's not, it's not something that I've stuck on there accidentally. It doesn't have any edge or anything, so I'm not sure what it is. When I did that stenciling before, maybe a bit of paint got on there, a bit of gesso. So I want to cover that up, and I'm going to use this piece of cotton thread to do that. So I just need to make a little bed of glue for that to sit in. And push it down into the thread. Push the thread down into the glue, I should say. I do want it a little bit sticking up here like that. This is the worst bit of doing something like this. Let's just use this to squish it on. Okay, I'm happy with that. What do you think? I might have overdone it a bit with those dots. I might dry that off and then put some gesso over some parts of it, because I think it's just, there's too much of it, too much of the dots. You need something else white on there. So I've got the stencil with the little flowers on there. It's this bit here, I can live with that and that, but this bit here is a bit too heavy. I don't even mind that messed up area there, but I just want to put a bit of white over that. And I'm not going to use gesso, I'm going to use white paint. Just go straight into the jar. Need a bit more than that. That should be enough. Yeah, just try and think where I want it, sort of here. So if I scrape this way, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's broken it up a bit. I don't know whether you can actually see that. Zoom in a little bit. So it's taken away some of the dots, but not as many as I would have liked. Okay, I'm going to try with some white dots. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen is I have to paint over it with gesso. So I'm going to try and place that over the existing ones, or partially over them. like that. Let's see what I can get. Alright, I don't mind that, but it has sort of taken away that stenciling that I just did. What I will do, because I've got a little bit left on the card, is just over here, do a little bit there. Yeah, that'll do, I think. Now, I'm not sure. Does it need something over these ones now? Oh, you start doing stuff and then you just have it snowballs, doesn't it? Starts off a minor thing and then ends up not a minor thing. I want to just cover up some of these down here with some white paint. So I'm just getting a little bit onto my card. Sort of line them up. Just have them overlapping a little bit. And I don't want to cover all of them. No, that'll do. I'm not messing around with it anymore. I'm going to end up wrecking it. Yep, you saw that, didn't you? Just went, oh dear, I just went straight over that pattern and wrecked it. I wonder if I can get it back in there. Oh dear. You have days like this, but it's all an adventure. And if we didn't make the mistakes, well, we'd never learn anything, would we? Alright, I'm going to leave it like that before I wreck it any further. I would like to just put a little bit of an outline around that. Watercolour pencil, that'll do. Just very carefully outline it. Must be wet there. Steady Eddie, not too fast. That's it, nothing else, no more. Alrighty, so that's week 34 of the Margarete Miller challenge done. I've used a light that I cut out of Daphne's diary and cut the actual lampshades out of them. I've used a tag here. I've used some stained paper there, but then the whole thing has been stained. Sand or stone, I've got that big rock in the background. Something that starts with the letter P was my poem and my person. The bonus is a sticker which I'll put down here. And other than that, yeah, a bit of gessoing and paint in the background and some stenciling and stamping. So that is all done. I love her. I think she's gorgeous. I love this collage too. I'm really happy with this one. I do think it has too much of this browny colour in it, but we'll see what happens when it dries. But I might go over it. Oh no, something I didn't do. I would like to go around the edge of the page. It just finishes it nicely, doesn't it? Oops. I should really wear my glasses when I do this. Okie doke. I'm going to call that done. So thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the playlist. It's hashtag 2022CWP34. I'll also put this up on my Instagram page, which is Leigh's Art Studio. And I'll put links to that in my video, links to Margarete Millers' channel and websites. And have a look at all the other creations that are there to be seen. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and stay safe and happy. So cheers from Australia. Hooroo!